everybody. Welcome to the Saturday Buffet with the Detroit Lions on the Prowl. And today I have a special guest here. Is Dr. Jimmy Liao. Welcome to the show, Doctor.
Thanks for having me. Glad to be here. Excited for the Colts game.
Yeah, me too. And with that, people, if you could do me a favor, yes, I know I'm in the wrong spot here. I'm trying to move over. Do me a favor, like this video, hit the bell notification icon so you know when there's more content coming out from us, Detroit Lions on the Prowl. Subscribe to the channel, and guess what? It's time to start the show. And welcome back to the show. We're going to go over the injury report, the final injury report for the Indianapolis Colts versus the Detroit Lions. And Dr. Liao, let me get your take on that injury report.
Yeah, Friday report is out. Let's start with the Colts. Their center, Ryan Kelly, was a no practice on Thursday and Friday. He's questionable for the game. That could be big news for the Lions if he's out. Our defensive line, our DTs need all the help they can get. They've been playing a lot better the past couple of weeks, but if he's out, maybe we can get a little bit more pressure on Phillip Rivers, who we know is not the most mobile guy. So let's keep an eye out for that.
Absolutely.
As far as the Lions report, start with Desmond Trufant. It's actually good news that he got a couple limited practices in on Thursday and Friday. He's listed as questionable for the game, but almost certainly he's out. He re-aggravated his hamstring on October the 4th, so we're already 27 days out from that. They're not going to rush him back since he already re-aggravated it initially. So expect him to be out for this game, but the fact that he got LPs in suggests he may be ready for the Vikings game next week. Now, a couple guys that popped up on the injury report that were surprises were Taylor Decker and Daryl Roberts. Let's talk about Taylor Decker first. He was a limited practice on Thursday, no practice on Friday. That no practice is concerning to me. Now, I rewatched the whole game yesterday, kept a close eye on Decker. He played the whole game. He finished the game. His last play was the TJ touchdown. He actually did a really good job on that play. He pushed the defensive end way behind Stafford. That's the exact alley that Stafford took to step up in the pocket to throw the touchdown. So I did not see any issues with his shoulder during the game. I did not see any injury. But he does have a significant history of shoulder problems. He had right shoulder surgery for a torn labrum back in 2017, missed 4 to 5 months due to it, missed the first 8 games of that season. So we don't know which shoulder is bothering him currently. We'll have to keep an eye on that. Hard to predict. But if he's out, it is reassuring that we have Tyrell Crosby, who has played well at the left tackle position, and we have Vaitai, who could move to right tackle. And Joe Dahl is also healthy and back and could play offensive guard for us. Now, one thing, what could have happened with Taylor Decker's shoulder in the past week? Well, maybe he hurt his shoulder doing a double take when he saw Ronnie Stanley's huge deal that he signed with the Ravens for. I don't know if you saw that, Jim.
I did.
But Ronnie Stanley signed for 5 years, $98 million.
Wow.
Compare that to Taylor Decker, who signed 4 years, $60 million.
Looks like a deal now, doesn't it?
Yeah, I thought it was a good deal back then, and it's looking like an even better deal now. So maybe he hurt his shoulder, calling up his agent saying, hey, can you get us a little money here? It's too late. But otherwise, his agent. Yeah, who knows what's going on with the shoulder? It could be anything. It could have been a weightlifting injury during the week. Could have hurt himself doing laundry. Hard to say. We'll see how it goes. Now, Daryl Roberts is the other guy that popped up as a surprise. Again, I watched the whole game. His last play was the 2-point conversion for the Falcons. Looked totally fine on the play. Did not see him limping. Did not see any kind of injury. Finished the game. So he did not get injured during the game. It's good news that he did get limited practices on Thursday and Friday, though. I would expect him to be playing for Sunday. based on the fact that he did not get injured during the game, and unlikely he got injured during the week somehow.
Do you have any expectation about Taylor Decker? If he's going to play or not play?
That NP on Friday is what really concerns me. If it's just based on the game tape, I would expect him to play because I didn't see any problems with him. So unless he somehow hurt himself after the game, and there's no way to know.
Okay. No, that's really cool. Going to the Colts and Lions. Who do you expect to win in this game? Who do you got?
I don't have an expectation. I think it's a close game. We got to keep in mind the Lions are still not a great team. I think they're still have been playing below average this year. They played a lot better the past couple games. So I think it's sort of a toss-up game. We got 500 friends and family in the stands.
Yes,
so
we do.
That's good news.
Sounds like a phone plan, as my co-host.
Right. Yeah. Hopefully that'll help us out. And interestingly, Phillip Rivers is also bringing his family to the game, and that's also 500 people, coincidentally. As we know, his completion percentage off the field is very high. Now, somehow as a doctor, I've delivered over 100 babies, and
how many of them were Phillip?
None of them were Phillip Rivers.
No, I'm just kidding.
None of them. It's quite amazing. I mean, he's probably the slowest quarterback in the NFL, but somebody slipped past me at the Family Birth Center.
Yeah, he has a lot of kids, and everybody said, "Oh, they just had a bye week," but Phillip Rivers didn't.
He doesn't take any bye weeks off the field.
No, he doesn't. But he's had 6 interceptions this year. He had 6 interceptions this week. Since he's been playing this year.
Something.
7 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. So I think he's vulnerable. I think if we get pressure, we could get him to make a mistake. He's probably thinking about home, and and all this stuff.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think what helps us is he's not mobile, and as we know, we are not the greatest at getting pass pressure.
No.
So having a guy who we know where he's going to be in the pocket, maybe we can collapse that pocket, especially if Ryan Kelly's out, and get a little bit of pass pressure on him.
I thought that Stafford had looked injured this year to me, and in this last game, he looked much better. I mean, his throws were a lot more accurate. It looked like I don't know whether he's feeling better or it's a mental thing or what the heck was going on, but he was overthrowing, underthrowing. His footwork was bad. He was throwing off his back foot a lot. It was just a lot of bad stuff going on with Stafford. But last week he looked like he picked it up. Did you see that too?
He did improve his play last week. You're right that maybe he is suffering lingering effects from missing half the year last year.
No,
remember, there was no OTAs.
Right.
A truncated training camp. So maybe just the first few games was just simply rust. Not necessarily injury, just rust and just getting back into things.
Yeah, we're 6 games in. That's a lot of rust.
Yeah, I agree. He needs to play better. What I think he did better in the Falcons game is not necessarily that he made a lot of better throws, which he did, but it's eliminating the really bad plays, which plagued us.
Yeah, I
early
agree.
in the season. He had some bad interceptions, horrible interceptions, and took some really bad sacks. He didn't do that in the Falcons game. He took a couple of sacks, but those were really quick sacks that were not his fault. So he eliminated all his bad plays and slightly ticked up his number of accurate passes.
Yes. I thought he played so much better in this game. I think our offensive line is playing well.
Our offensive line. I think this might be the best offensive line we've had in 10, 20 years.
And we're still not set right. I don't like Big V at guard. I know.
Really? You want him back at right tackle or you want Dahl back?
I'd like to get him back at right tackle. I'd like Dahl and Jonah Jackson as our guards. Okay. I think that would be the lineup everybody I think wants to see. Maybe this lineup is just something that they've gelled and we're going to stick with what's working, I guess. But but there was a player I really wanted to talk about, and it's Austin Bryant. He comes back from, never showing up hardly at all. I mean, I think he's played 1 game or something. And he's supposedly back. If he comes back, do you think he's coming back this week? I don't personally, but
who knows with this guy? This guy's had a serious history of injury. He had a pec issue back in college.
Yeah. Torn pec.
Yeah. He started on PUP last year. He only played 12% of snaps last year. We don't know why he started on PUP last year, possibly due to the lingering pec injury. So him starting on PUP again this year for who knows what, really concerning from an injury standpoint.
And how long does it take for someone to get back from that type of thing? But I'm not talking just about being back from the injury. I'm talking about being back football shape wise. I still think he has a couple of weeks before we see him.
Well, you would hope he's staying in shape on his own. If it's simply a pec injury, he can still sprint. He can still keep himself in cardiovascular shape and leg shape.
It's so much different when you practice and you're putting in that grind and you're trying to get in football shape rather than just in shape. They're two different things.
That's true.
So that's why I'm not sure. But I would love to see him on the field again. I think he could add something to this team if he ever gets on the team. He actually outperformed Deshaun Hand when he was in college. So I was very much looking forward to Austin Bryan playing. He's a 4th-round pick. We do really well with 4th-round picks. I believe Everson Griffin was a 4th-round pick. Trey Flowers was a 4th-round pick. Deshaun Hand and Austin Bryan. So if you put all those together...
No, I think Austin Bryan plays sort of like a defensive end, outside linebacker position.
Like jack position. Yeah, and that's the thing
we definitely need. We need somebody. Absolutely. Julian Okwara went down. We need somebody off the edge, getting some kind of pressure
right now, which is god awful.
Yeah, he's fine with what he does, but he's not a good pass rusher. He doesn't get to the quarterback.
Well, I mean, he would if he had a rocket or something, because he's really, really slow.
Yeah, is that legal now?
Not sure they allow that Acme stuff in the. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, well, our defensive ends need it, except for Okwara, who's done pretty well this year.
I think he's better than Flowers right now. But Flowers has always been more of a run stopper type person, and
he's not
got a great pass rusher for what we paid him.
Yeah, he's not great. He's not a consistent pass rusher. Most of the game, he's sort of invisible. He had that strip sack against Jacksonville, but really not a lot else this year.
No, not a lot else. I think Everson Griffin will help him a little bit. I think if he can get pass rush from the other side, I think if we play more 4-3 than 3-4, that would help. I don't think we're great at 3-3-5 or 3-3. What is it? Whatever it is. 3-3-5, I think, is what they have. And then they play a 3-4, and then they play a 4-3, kind of a hybrid type thing.
Yeah, speaking of Everson Griffin, I think it's a shame. I think it's wrong that he's not allowed to play against the Colts this week. For some reason, the NFL COVID protocol policy is if you're traded from one team to another, you have to be in a 5-day quarantine. That doesn't make any sense to me logically.
Doesn't to me
I think it's a bad rule. I think you should be allowed to play this Sunday, but
because the Cowboys are quarantined and then the Lions are quarantined. If nobody has it on each side,
exactly, they're all following the NFL rules, which limit like off the field gatherings and parties and stuff like that. They're all getting tested every day, just the same. So I don't see why it matters him moving cities from one city to another.
I don't either.
He took a private plane here too, so it's not like he was under any significant risk getting on a plane with 100 other people.
And he could have got tested before the game, before a practice, before anything, to practice with the team. He could have been tested multiple times, and then they would have been okay. I don't get this rule either. I don't understand.
Yeah, I think it's a bad rule. Overall, I think the NFL is doing a good job with COVID, but there are a couple things where it doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
Well, the NFL doesn't make a whole lot of sense sometimes.
Sometimes, yeah.
See some of the rulings they've had against us, and you'll find out real quick that the NFL makes no sense.
Yeah, like spotting the ball at the 11 instead of the 8.
Yeah. It's just crazy things. And then, we're going to start running the clock off at 3 seconds, so you better hurry up. I mean, that was another thing.
At least they told us instead of surprising us.
And then the other thing is, it's like, okay, you did spike the ball and the play was over, but we're going to review it anyway, just because we make the rules as we go.
Yeah, well, I'm okay with that review. And I think we actually got a little bit lucky with the review because there's a pretty decent chance that Kenny Golladay trapped that ball, in my opinion.
I still think he caught it, and I don't think there was enough evidence to overturn it. And that's my
100% agree. There wasn't enough evidence, and I think we're lucky that there wasn't a really good video.
But I think the NFL should go by their own rules. If another team if another team takes the play before, that play is over when the team snaps the ball. That's why teams quick snap it and hand the ball off, so that they can't review the previous play. Yeah. So if the teams can't review the previous play after the ball has been snapped and the play is over, then how the NFL do it?
Yeah, well, they could have got him buzzed down right before the snap. And I'm okay with that, because if that would have gone our favor, I mean, there are times where we want them to review.
What if they overturned that? I mean, what if? So, I mean, I guess I'm in the what if category, and I don't care. We won the game, so it's not really that big of an issue. But it could have been. It could have been a huge issue for the Lions. But
Yeah, well, in this case, it worked out for us. Last Atlanta game, it didn't work out for us with the Golden Tate.
Right.
Knee down, knee not down.
I was waiting for that too. I was waiting for the run-up thing.
Yeah, I was really pretty comfortable they weren't going to run it off, but yeah, you never know.
Oh, with the NFL, you don't know. But anyway, that is our show for today. I really appreciate you, Jimmy, Dr. Leal, for joining us today and being the co-host on Detroit Lions on the Prowl today. If you haven't already, subscribe to Dr. Leal's channel. It is, and plug us your YouTube, sir.
Yeah, Detroit Lions Morning Rounds podcast, also on YouTube. Find me on Twitter at Jimmy Leal MD.
There you go. All right, and as always, click the like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell notification so that you know when another video is coming out from us at Detroit Lions on the Prowl. For Dr. Jimmy Leal, this is Jim Bordeau saying thank you and see you next time.